What is going on, YouTube? I am Germ here. So yesterday we talked about this whole Perkz situation, the drama with Riot or the LCS, or I still don't really even know what exactly is going on, but Perkz did have this now deleted tweet where he talked about really cringe of Riot, that he needed to get a doctor's note. He had no problems with getting the lighting fixed or adjusted or out of his eyes or whatever internationally or in the LEC. And yeah, I mean, he pretty much called out Riot, and there's this whole back and forth thing, and really the myth, the legend of, Perkz and his hat kind of got started, and it continued, and it took off. It was all over Twitter, all over Reddit, all that stuff. And I made the video talking about it yesterday, and the video did pretty well. But today we actually have a follow-up to this situation. Riot, the LCS, and the LCS commissioner have now responded, and yeah, I don't know. I personally did not think it was a great response, but I guess we'll be getting your guys' thoughts and opinions in this one. That's what we're going to be talking about in this video today. Definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. And subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. I think we just passed 7,800. We're getting so close to 8,000, and that would be super, super dope. Again, it is one of my big goals to hit 10,000 by the end of the year. So helping us out, running those numbers up would be awesome. With that being said, here we go. So this is the response to this whole Perkz situation. This comes from Chris Greeley. This man is the head of esports for NA and OSH. He is the interim commissioner for the LCS, ex-ish lawyer, and a firm believer in the superiority of New Jersey pizza. That is his, self-proclaimed bio. But here is what he had to say on the issue. First, he wanted to apologize to C9 Perkz for the discomfort he has felt while playing in their studio. I think that is first and foremost the biggest thing. I think Riot does owe it to the players, the fans, the system, the teams, everyone to be providing the best, most comfortable, but not even most comfortable. It's not like they should be providing the most comfortable environment to every single player, accommodating for everything, but they should be providing an environment that is good enough for competitive integrity, good enough for players to be able to compete at the highest level, within reason. And I think Perkz' situation of literally getting LASIK surgery, having an eye procedure done, and asking for something to be done that is already on the ready check for the LCS. This is, the lights are something that they check before the game start every day, and these are accommodations that should be made without a doctor's note, without anything. Any player should be able to make light adjustments or whatever. If it's in their eyes, if it's hurting their eyes, you shouldn't have to have a surgery, you shouldn't have to have a doctor's note, anything. If I am looking at my screen and I'm like, guys, I have, this is hurting my eyes, I can't do this, whatever, they should fix that. But especially in Perkz' situation, this is one of your star players, one of your guys who makes you the most money for your league. It's a huge import that you want to make the best. You want to make the experience the best for him as possible. Again, and we've had comments about this where they should be doing that for everybody, and I completely agree. But if special accommodations or anything was going to be made for anybody, Perkz should be pretty damn high up on that list, especially coming off an eye procedure, especially coming off a surgery. And again, he said he has been dealing with these issues for the past 5 weeks. He was playing in an uncomfortable, disadvantageous, whatever situation. Him and Cloud9 have not looked that good in the past 5 weeks, and I don't think it's complete coincidence. Now, yes, there are a million other things at play, but man, that's got to be frustrating, that's got to be annoying. So I think it is good that they did apologize to Perkz here, and they have acknowledged the situation that, yes, one of their players, they are a franchise. They should be looking out for the best interest of everyone involved and trying to provide the best competitive environment. That was not done. They have offered an apology. That's great, and it seems like people have forgave them for the most part, but he said that they do always want to provide the best possible experience for their pros. I would say clearly that is not true. The fact that this took 5 weeks to resolve is just simply not good enough. And yes, hopefully going forward, they will seek to do that. But that is not what they have always done, very, very clearly. He follows this up with, to offer context on the situation, our lighting levels and designs are in line with other leagues and international events, a setup Riot has generally kept consistent since 2012. So that false sense of security slowed our reaction times, and it shouldn't have. So there is some definitely contradicting statements going on, and I don't know what's true. I don't know what's not. I have been to one League of Legends event ever in person. A couple of years ago, I went to the spring finals. I am not in Los Angeles every week. I haven't been to Worlds. I haven't been to all these different things, so I can't necessarily tell you guys all these different things, but I know that I don't necessarily believe this because, yes, there's certain levels. Yes, there's a bunch of different things, but these things happen in so many different venues, so many different places. It would be almost impossible to have the same light setup and structure and all these things. You know, maybe there's certain limits where things work out or whatever, but I imagine a lot of the time they're making a lot of adjustments. And I imagine a lot of times they're talking with the players, talking with the teams, like, oh, is this good? Is this okay? And again, Perkz is claiming it as part of their ready check to have the lights adjusted, the lighting levels, the angles, all that stuff. So is he lying? Is Greeley lying? Also, Greeley's saying that these are in line with other leagues and international events. And Perkz is saying this is not in line with other international events. I have not had these problems internationally. I did not have these problems in the LEC. So it is really just this back and forth. And in that regard, I don't know. I tend to kind of want to more so believe Perkz because Greeley is kind of, you know, the front man, the figurehead for the LCS, and he's had some questionable statements before, and he's very, very biased and incentivized to speak out on behalf of the LCS, and I think they've handled this situation very poorly. But again, I personally do not know the truth. I personally do not know who is right, and I guess if any of you know, great. If you don't know, you're just going to kind of have to decide or just kind of have it left somewhere in the limbo. But, you know, what Greeley is saying is directly contradictory to what Perkz is saying in this situation. I do think that is a little bit interesting. But again, he says that did slow their reaction times and it shouldn't have. Again, I completely agree. Hopefully, he's saying it shouldn't have and they realize this and they actually understand this going forward and it actually doesn't happen again, because it's way easier to say, hey guys, I'm sorry, you know, I know what we did wrong. It is way different to actually make changes for the future and actually not have something like this happen again. We'll see. Talk is cheap. I don't know. I think apologies are overall pretty stupid. I think that, yeah, your actions are going to be way, way more important. So we'll see what happens going on in the future. But the biggest part here, he did say, moreover, information regarding the medical nature of Perkz' discomfort took several weeks to get to the right folks at the LCS. Since then, we've been working with Cloud9 to find both temporary and long-term solutions, ensuring that Perkz is able to play on stage comfortably. And again, there at the end, that's awesome. That's great. They've been working on both temporary and long-term solutions, ensuring that Perkz is going to be okay. That's awesome. That's great. But why did it take this long to do so? And that was kind of the tweet that I had down here. This tweet actually kind of popped off, 41 likes. That's kind of decent for me. I don't usually get that many, but I said, I appreciate the statement, but still, huge issue that it takes a couple of weeks to get to the right people. Because what Perkz is saying is that he had been letting them know for the past 5 weeks that he's having issues. He's asked to wear a hat. He is asked to get the light, it's adjusted and all that stuff. And they have told him no. They, have not been willing to make the accommodations or whatever. I don't know when they asked him for the doctor's note. I don't know how long it took to provide that, whatever. But the fact that Greeley's saying, oh yeah, it took a couple of weeks to get to the right people, that makes no sense. Somebody did reply to me and said this could also be a mistake on the Cloud9 and Perkz part, and you know, I did acknowledge that. I was like, yeah, it is possible that it could have. I thought it was hilarious that this event productions guy at Riot actually liked this tweet, so I don't know if that's, you know, Riot maybe being like, hey, maybe it was an issue of C9 and Perkz, but my reply I thought did make a lot of sense, saying it seems pretty clear that Perkz brought this issue to their attention, telling them about the lights, trying to wear a hat. So to say that Riot didn't know or anything like that, it makes absolutely no sense to me. And yeah, I don't know. I think this statement is good. An apology is great, whatever. It's awesome. But the systems in place at the LCS right now are absolutely terrible. If something like this takes a couple of weeks to even get to the right people, because then by the time it gets to them, they still need to evaluate it. They still need to come up with a plan, a decision. And yes, Greeley says, oh, you know, right now we're coming up with temporary and long-term solutions. Why was this process not started 5 weeks ago? Why are we halfway through the summer split before Perkz is even able to start getting accommodated with this at all? So I don't know. Good on Riot for hopefully figuring this out. Better late than never. But man, the LCS just continues to baffle me every single day, every single week, every single year, more and more. And overall, I just think right now they are very poorly ran. I think the management is doing an absolutely terrible job, and it's really disappointing. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Tell me, drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about this whole situation? Do you think this is a good statement from Riot? Do you forgive them? Or do you think they dropped the ball big time? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, save for content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace!